non-payments, and the debt collectors come knocking, calling, whatever. Many people feel trapped and helpless in their own home. But as a consumer, you do have certain rights. And here to tell us about those rights is attorney and consumer advocate Craig Kimmel. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you, Tracy.
I'm guessing that there are a lot more debt collectors making a lot more calls these days as people struggle to pay their bills.
Constantly making calls to consumers day and night, evenings, holidays, all sorts of times.
And so as a consumer, I do have some rights? Tell me.
You have tremendous rights, and a lot of people don't understand it. You have certain rights not to be called at certain times or places. You have rights to be spoken to with respect, and you have rights to tell the debt collector to leave you alone.
What do you mean tell the debt collector to leave me alone, especially if I really do have a debt?
Well, even if you, there are debt collectors who call even if they're looking for friends, family, they confuse you with somebody else, a mistaken identity, or they think you have a debt you don't. Debt collectors will call you no matter what, but the law says you can tell them to cease and desist calling you, and they must respect that. And if they don't, they violated the law.
And what kind of information do they have to give you when they call? What do they need to say up front to you?
Well, they have to identify themselves, first and foremost, and make sure that they're talking, before they identify themselves, talking to the person that allegedly owns the debt. So they can't talk to your brother, your sister, your friend about your debt. They have to know they're talking to you, which means that they have to be careful not to say that they're a debt collector to anybody else. That's a violation.
Let's talk about more of things that they can't do. They can't call you repeatedly, right?
Correct. They can't call you repeatedly. They can't call you back if you hang up the phone and tell them not to call back. They can't call you right back.
And they can't call you before 8 a.m. or after 9 p.m. They also can't disclose your information to third parties, because I think a lot of them threaten to do that. We're going to call your employer, or we're going to call somebody and tell them about your debts.
They do. They can't do that, but they do it all the time because they want embarrassment to force you to pay a bill that you may not even think that you owe.
What if somebody violates this? What if a debt collector is violating all these don'ts that they're not supposed to be doing according to law? What should I do?
Well, I will tell you the reason that they're doing it is because in the vast majority of cases, they will not get caught, but they might get paid. So that's why they do it. If it does happen to you, there are absolute rights under the Federal Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. That's what we do. We help people free of charge. We stop the harassment, and we get as much as $1,000 for the violation, plus attorney's fees.
All right, so keep track of this. Know what your rights are, and then contact an attorney.
Yes, and I have to say this. Yes. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Excellent. Thanks, Craig Kimmel, attorney and consumer advocate. We appreciate it.